Well, welcome back. And in this another episode of Vikram Vetal story titled Swahita Cintanam. Three words are there. Swa means swasya, one's own. Hita means something good for us, something good or something in favor. That is called Hita. Cintanam means thinking. Swahita Cintanam. Swasya hitasya chintanam. Thinking of something which is favoring me. What we say, selfish, like that, generally we say. If someone is thinking of his own benefits, his own favoring situation, that is called Swahita Chintanam. Swahita Chintanam means we can simply say selfish. That is the literal meaning. Let us read and understand this story. Janasanchara rahite ghore smashana marge. Janasanchara rahita. Janasanchara means the movements of people. Rahita, without. Ghore, very terrific. Smashana marge, in that burial ground path. Sancharam eva priyam vrittim bhavayan iva. As if walking on that very terrific burial ground where no people are moving, that itself is priyam vrittim. That is the most desired profession. Iva bhavayan. Feeling so, Trivikramaha, the king Trivikramaha, Vetalam vashikartum, to catch that ghost again, ichan, desiring, Punarapi vrikshasya samipam gatavan. Again he went back to the tree. So this story goes like that. Every time he goes back, every time the ghost escapes, every time he goes back, so it's a continuous one. And finally it will end. At one final time it should end. But in this magazine, that Chandamama, is a very unending story, like so many stories are made. So many stories are imaginary, because as per the Sanskrit literature, the original stories are very limited. Okay. Vriksham aruhya shakhayam lambamanam shamam skandhe aropya adaha agatava. So he climbed the tree and put that ghost on his shoulder, or the dead body on the shoulder, and came down. Tataha maunam smashana bhimukam prastitavancha. And from there towards the burial ground, he went silently. Tada shamantargadaha vetalaha avadat. Then the ghost inside that body, dead body, told, Aye Rajan, O king, ghore smashana marge tatrapi madhyaratre dainandina karyam kurvaniva mam vahati khalu bhavane. Gore or smashana marge, in that very terrific this dead bodies area, burial ground. Tatrapi, even moreover, here tatrapi means moreover, even though in that terrific and very fearsome burial ground area, tatrapi, moreover, madhyaratre, in the midnight, dainandina karyam kurvaniva, as if you are doing your day-to-day duties, mam vahati khalu bhavane, you are carrying me, mama vashikaranam sarvatha ashakyam iti bhavana bhavati kadapina atma utpannava. Mama vashikaranam means controlling me or taking me in your possession. Sarvatha ashakyam iti. Never it is possible like that. Bhavana, the feeling. Bhavati means in you. Bhavati shaptaha saptami ekavachanam. This is not verb. Bhavati, bhavataha, bhavanti. Like that, that is verb. But here, bhavati means bhavan, bhavantau, bhavantaha. In that, saptami vibhakti, bhavati, bhavatyoh, bhavatsu. So, bhavati is saptami ekavachanam. Bhavatoh, bhavati, bhavati, bhavatoh, bhavatsu. Okay. Kadapina utpannava. Never it rose in your mind that it is impossible to capture this ghost. Kechana samarthya bhahyam karyam kartum apekshante. Kechana, some people, samarthya bhahyam. Bhahyam means something outside. Bahihi, outside. Bhahyam, something which is in the nature of outside. Samarthyam, swasya samarthyam, that within one's own capacity is swasya swamarthyam. Bhahyam, swasamarthya bhahyam, swasya samarthasya bhahyam, that which is out of one's own capacity, karyam, such a job, kartum, to do, apekshante. Apekshante means they try, they expect, they attempt. Who? Kechana. Some people are like that. They try to do something which is not in their capacity. Kintu, but samarthya lopataha. Lopa means adarshanam lopaha, like that. Lopa means missing. Samarthya lopataha. So not having, less, not having that capacity, or this taha means tasil pratyayaha, so samarthya lopataha, from not having that capacity to complete a task, duralochanayaha abhavataha, this also tasil pratyayaha, from not having duralochana, duralochana means a long vision, futuristic vision. Not having that futuristic vision, manaf paktvata rahitya karanataha. So this is also tasil pratyaya. Manaf paktvata. Paktvata means maturity. Manaf paktvata means not having the mental maturity. Manaf paktvata means mental maturity. Rahitya, rahitasya bhavaha rahitya. So this rahityam is tadidanda shabdaha. Rahitya karanataha, because of not having the mental maturity. So three things the ghost is telling. Not having the capacity to execute, not having a long vision about pros and cons, not having the mental maturity, some people who are trying to do something which is samarthya bhahyam, which is beyond their capacity, tat karyam sadhayitum, to achieve that task, na shaknuvanti, they are not capable of achieving such a task which is beyond their capacity, because they were not having the longer vision about pros and cons, they were not having mental maturity, and they were not having that capacity to do or to execute such work. Swasya uttaradhikarinaha ye santi tesham dwara tat karyam sadhayitum te prayatnam karishyanti. Swasya means one's own. Uttaradhikarinaha. Uttaradhikari means the legal heirship. One who is going to take over the position next to the current person. Like a king, then the Uttaradhikari is king's son, the first son of the king, who will become the king. Ye santi, those who are the legal heirs, tesham dwara, through them, tat karyam sadhayitum te prayatnam karishyanti. They attempt to do that work which they were unable to complete through their legal heirs. Most parents are like that. See, you want to become IAS. If you can't, you want to make your son to become IAS. Like that, you try something which you can't do through your son or daughter. Kintu prayaha tatrapi, but probably in that also, te asaphalyam eva anubhavanti. Even though they tried to do the task which they were unable to do through their legal heirs, but in that also they get asaphalyam anubhavanti. They get or they feel unsuccessful nature or failure. Dhanagupta namakasya kasyachit vanijaha vyavaharaha attara udaharanam. So in this context, an example. Udaharana means an example. Dhanagupta namakasya kasyachit vanijaha vyavaharaha. The conduct or behavior of a merchant whose name is Dhanaguptaha is an example in this context. What is the context? Someone tries to do something which is not in their capacity, but at the same time they try to do it with their legal hands and fail. They get failure there also because of three reasons: not having the capacity, not having the mental maturity, and not having a forevision about pros and cons. Dhanaguptasya katham vistarena shravayami. So I just explain in detail the story of Dhanaguptaha. Viveka praptyartham, to get wisdom, margayasa pariharartham cha, and to get relieved from that journey tiredness, tam katham shraddhaya shrunotu tavat. You just listen that story with devotion and attention. Anantaram Vetalena Katha Arabdha. And then the story was started by the Vetala. Vetalena Katha Arabdha. So this is Karmani Prayogaha. Purvam, earlier, long back, Bhagya Nagare Dhanaguptaha Nama Vanik Asit. So this Vanik, Jakaranda Shabdaha, Vanik, Vanijau, Vanijaha, like that. So earlier there was a merchant in Bhagya city, and the name of the merchant is Dhanaguptaha. Yogye sthale tasya apanaha asit. And his shop was at the main place. Yogye sthale means like the main place of the city. Like normally in merchants area and all, some very important places where the business goes well. Apanasya parshve eva tadiyam suvishalam griham asit. And his very big house was near to his shop. Saha vanijyena prabhutam dhanam sampaditavan asit. Iti tu satyameva. But it is true that through business he made so much of money. Kintu bandhu vyamoha karanataha. But because of bandhu, bhandavaha means relations. Vyamoha karanataha means that affection and taking care, nature, compassion with the relation. Saha prabhutam eva dhanam vyayikirtavan asit. So he spent so much of money on his friends and relations. Like that we can take. Bhandavaha, bahavaha, many relations. Mithya pritim pradarshyantaha. Mithya means false. Pritihi means love and affection. Mithya pritim pradarshyantaha. So many friends and relation showing a false pretext of love and affection. Avidyamanam kashtam srishtva. Creating some difficult situations of themselves which was not there. Vadantaha cha, and telling their pitiful condition, though they were not like that. Dhanaguptataha prabhutam dhanam praptavantaha asan. They took so much of money from Dhanagupta because they are friends and relations. Normally it happens. Someone makes or earns with so much hard work, and the friends and relation very easily they just to please them and take the money from them in some pretext or context, and showing some pitiful nature of them, and they just enjoy. Somebody works, somebody enjoys. Even today we can see that. Bandhavanam kapata vyavaharaha yavat jnataha. By the time he came to know that his friends and relations are cheating me, tavata, by that time, Dhanaguptaha vriddhaha jataha asi. So by that time he came to know, he became very old person. So he lost all his energy and money, and he came to know that he was cheated by all his friends and relations, and he is now old. Dhanaguptasya trayaha putraha asan. And of Dhanagupta, 3 sons were there. Anandaha, vinodaha, vivekaha, cha iti, cheti. It is not veti. I think it is printing mistake. It should be cha iti cheti. The name of the three sons were Anandaha, Vinodaha, Vivekaha. Kadachit saha trina api putran ahuya uktava. So once the father Dhanaguptaha called the three sons and told. So from the picture we can see three people are sitting. Vatsaha. So here it is Vatsaha. He Vatsaha. Bhavantaha trayaha api vanijye samarthaha eva. All you three are very capable in your business or skillful in your business. Kintu वाणिज्य जीवने प्रगतिः साधनीया चेत् वाणिज्य चातुर्येन सह स्वहितचिन्तन बुद्धिः अपि आवश्यकी भवति. Even though you are very skillful in doing business, but वाणिज्य जीवने, in the life of business person, pragatihi sadhaniya chet. If you want to achieve some milestone, pragatihi means going forward, reaching some milestone, vanijya chaturyena saha, along with the cleverness of that business, swahita chintana buddhihi, the mind of thinking of self's welfare also, api avashyaki bhavati, is also essential. Swahita chintanam mama jivane pradhanam na asit ityataha aham bandhavaihi baudha vanchitaha abhavam. So he is giving his life experience. What he is telling? Swahita chintanam mama jivane pradhanam na asit ityataha. Because that taking care of self's welfare was not prime in my life, aham bandhavaihi baudha vanchitaha abhavam. I was very much cheated by the friends and relation. Yena maya kotyadhishena bhavitavyam asit soham idanim lakshadhisha matram asmi. Okay, he has not become poor, but yena, by that, maya kotyadhishena bhavitavyam, by me it is to be a billionaire. Soham, saha aham soham, that me, idanim, now, lakshadhisha matram asmi. So I am only lakpati instead of karodpati. Instead of billionaire, I am only millionaire. Because so much of my earnings and all cheated by my friends and relation. Because I didn't bother about keeping the self's welfare as the prime concern in my business life. Tatrapi bhavatam sahayam api asit. Even there, your bhavatam sahayam api asit. Even though I was having your support in business, even with your support, I was not in a position to take care of my welfare. That is the meaning. Idanim maya vivekaha praptaha asti. But now by me, wisdom is got. Kintu vriddaha jataha asmi. But I became old. Ichha asti chedabi kimapi kartum na shaknomi. Even though I have desire, but I can't do anything. Ataha mama kanchit apeksham purayeyuhuva bhavantaha iti. Therefore, so he told the entire life history in a very short sentence. So because of all these, ataha mama kanchit apeksham, some of my expectation, purayeyuhuva bhavantaha. Will you people fulfill that some of my desires? Tada trayaha api ekaswarena uktavantaha. Then all the three sons told in one tone. Ekaswarena means in one tone, unanimously. Tata vanija swahita chintanam api karaniyam eva iti vayam api janimaha sma. O father, vanija, by the merchant, swahita chintanam api karaniyam eva. He has to think of his self-welfare also. Iti vayamapi jani mahasma. Like that, we too knew that. Kintu bhavat vishaya विषयक गौरवस्य कारणतः वयं सर्वं पश्यन्तः अपि मौनम् आश्रितवन्तः. But even though we knew all those things, we didn't want to give advice to a father. A son is not supposed to give advice to a father because he learns more, earns more experience. So that is a type of disrespect. So these sons are telling, Bhavat Vishayaka Gauravasya Karanataha. Because of the respect we had towards you, Vayam Sarvam Pashyantaha api Maunam Ashritavantaha. Even though we saw everything, but we kept silence. Bhavane Anubhavavan Vanik Ityataha Bhavataha Vyavahare Anauchitya Pradarshanam Na Uchitam Iti Matva Vayam Kimapi Na Uktavantaha. Bhavane Anubhavavan Vanik. You are well experienced merchant. Ityataha. Because of that, Bhavataha Vyavahare, in your transaction or behavior, Anauchitya Pradarshanam, showing the shortfalls in your conduct or behavior or treatment or transaction, Na Uchitam iti matva, feeling that it is not right on our part to show the mistakes in you, Vayam Kimapi Na Uktavantaha. We didn't say anything to you. Like that, they said. Tadastu, okay, let it be. Bhavane swasya apeksham prakatayatu tavat. Okay, you just show or tell me what is your desire. Pranan samarpyava vayam tam purayishyamaha eva. So even sacrificing our life, that is the meaning. Pranan samarpyava. Samarpya means by submitting our life also. Vayam tam purayishyamaha. We will try to or we will fulfill, like that they are saying. Even by sacrificing our life. That means what is that most desirous to one is life. So we will lose that also for your sake to fulfill your desire. That is the meaning. Putranam vachanataha santushtaha dhanaguptaha uktavan. And happy father from the words of the sons told. Yogyaha putraha bhavantaha. You are all very fitting sons. Yogyaha means very appropriate sons. Bhavatam praptya aham dhanyaha jataha. I became very blessed by having you as my sons. Mama vanijye vishesha pragatihi na jata yat tatra yatat grihameva karanam iti janaha vadanti. Mama vanijye, in my business, vishesha pragatihi na jata. I didn't achieve some special status. Tatra yetad grihamyeva karanam iti. And for that, the reason is this house only. Like that people are telling. Maya yat arjitam tena dhanena yetad griham nirmitavan aham. And I built this house based from the money I earned. Ataha yetasya grihasya vishaye visheshadaraha mama. So I have some special affection. Here adara is a type of possession, that possessive affection on this house because it is built by me and by my own earned money. Kintu atra sthala doshaha asti sacha doshaha eva pragatim nivarayati iti vadanti kechana. But some people are telling that this place is having some problems. Sthala doshaha. So there is some mistake in selection of this land, and that is causing this problem of not reaching some higher position in the business. Iti vadanti kechana. Some people are telling me, Swahita Cintanam na kritam yat tadeva pragateha avarodhakam jatam iti mama Cintanam. Swahita Cintanam na kritam, and that I have not made any self-welfare actions. Tadeva pragateha avarodhakam jatam. That itself stopped me. Avarodhakam means hurdle. That itself hurdled or stopped me in getting that pragatihi of that pragati status, that high achievement status. I could not get because of this house, and because of that only I got the feeling of not caring about my own welfare. Iti, like that, mama Cintanam. So it's all his feeling. I feel so. केचन स्वार्थसाधकाः एतस्य गृहस्य विषये मयि अनादरम् उत्पाद्य अल्पेन मूल्येन एतत् क्रेतव्यम् इति चिन्तयन्तः सन्ति. So this is also one of the factors. Many a time when we are at some downfall, they say something, and this house is haunted, this house is not this one, that is your problem. So you sell this one, like that. They get that valuable item at a lower price. So some people, they spoil our mind. When we are mentally worried, some people spoil the mind. Kechana swartha sadhakaha. Some self-motivated people, swartha sadhakam, achieving their own interest. Yatasya grihasya vishaye. So in the matter of this house, mahi anadaram utpadya. Creating some anadaram means disrespect. Alpena mulyena, with very little money, etat kretavyam iti, this house is to be bought, like that, chintayantaha santi. So they are creating some aversion. Here anadaram means aversion. So create some aversion about this property, and by giving out that property, you become very rich again, like that. Mentally they disturbed him. Ataha sthaladoshaha atra nasti iti nirupaniyam maya. So I have to prove that there is no mistake in the selection of this area. Okay, now he is clear. Some people are telling like that, and they want to confuse me, and they want to buy this location and the house at a cheaper rate, even though that is all not so. So I have to prove that it is not so. This is a nice place. यदि अहम कोट्याधीशः भवेयं तर्हि स्थलदोषः अत्र नास्ति इत्येतत् प्रमाणितं भविष्यति. So if I am becoming a millionaire, so from the same house I have become a millionaire instead of I became a billionaire instead of a millionaire, then it will get proved that this place is nice place. Ataha, therefore, Bhavassu kaschit mam kotyadhisham kartum shakniyatva. So amongst you three, can anyone make me a billionaire? Like that, the father is asking the sons. The father wanted to become a billionaire, but he couldn't do. So he asked his son. So the Vetala started the context, trying to do something and unable to achieve that, because of not having the capacity to achieve for so many reasons. Not having the mind maturity, not thinking about so many things, like that, the ghost said. And they try to do it with legal heads, and there also they fail like that. Avam karishyavaha iti uktavantam vinodaha anandaha cha. So the two sons, Vinodaha and Anandaha, they told, we will do it for you. Tada Vivekaha Muktavan. Then the Viveka told, see, if you see the name selection, Viveka means wisdom, Ananda means happy, Vinoda means something amusing. So some person's mind is amusing mind, somebody's happy mind, somebody's wise mind. Like that, three minds, that is the name of those three sons. Dhanaguptaha means someone who is having a merchant with so much money, like that. Hetata atmana doshaha kritaha iti jnatva api atmanaha vyavahare parivartanam anetum na shaktavan bhavan. So the Vivekaha, who is a wise person, is giving that advice. O father, atmana doshaha kritaha iti jnatva api. Even after knowing that mistake is done by you, by self. Atmana means by one's own self. Atmanaha vyavahare, in one's own conduct. Parivartanam anetum, to bring changes. Nashaktavan bhavan, you are unable to bring changes in you, even though you came to know your own mistake. Like that, the son is saying. बान्धवानां वचनं दाक्षिण्य वशात् निराकर्तुं न शक्नोति भवान्. Bandhavanam vachanam, the words of the relations and friends. Dakshinya vashat, because of that compassionate mind. Nirakartum na shaknoti bhavan, you are unable to reject that or stop that. Ataha vanijyataha bhavataha nivrittihi eva varam iti. Nivrittihi means retirement. So it is better to retire from the business life itself. Dhanaguptaha angikara-purvakam shiraha chalitavan. And Dhanagupta accepted his son's words, and in a accepting way he shook his head. Tada vivekaha punaha uktavan. Now the father is listening, so the son Viveka told again. Vanijyam yadi ekasyaiva adhinam syat tarihi varam bhavet. If the business is under one head, then it is better. Because we say in partner business, sometimes when 2-3 people, partners, they do business, they are of different mind. Someone want to achieve market, someone want to enjoy the profit, like there will be so many problems. Ataha asmasu yaha samarthaha tasmai vanijyam dadatu bhavan. So you hand over the business to one of the 3 of us who are capable. Ekasmai vanijyam dattam chet anyayohu manasi asuya kalaha buddhyadikam utpadyeta iti bhitihi sarvatha mastu bhavataha. Ekasmai vanijyam dattam chet. If the business is given to one of the son, anyayohu manasi, in the mind of the other 2, asuya kalaha buddhyadikam. Asuya means jealous. Kalaha buddhi means the quarreling mind. Utpadyeta iti bhitihi. The fear that the other 2 may have this type of mind like that. Sarvatha mastu bhavataha. You need not have such fear. Bhavataha nirnayam santoshena swikarishyamaha vayam. We will accept your decision happily. Like that. Dhanaguptaha etadabi angikritya kshanakalam chintayitva uttama. And Dhanagupta accepted this and thought for some time and told. Vanijye bhavantaha trayaha api samarthaha eva. In business, all you 3 are capable in a equal way. Samanaha, samarthatamaha kaha. Who is best among the 3? Iti nirnayaha kashtakaraha. Like that to decide is very difficult. Ataha, therefore, bhavanyeva vadantu. You only tell bhavantaha eva vadantu. You 3, among you discuss and tell who is the best amongst you. Kaha mama apeksham purayitum shaknoti iti. Who can fulfill my desire like that? You only tell. Tasmai aham vanijyam dadami. I will give the business take over to that son. Anyayohu krite swatantra vanijyasya arabhartam dhanam dasyami. And for other 2 to start individual business, I will give money. I will do the capital funding. Swatantra vanijyam means individual business. Arambha artham, arambhartam, to start. Dhanam dasyami, I will fund. Yetena bhavatsu kasyapi jivane kleshaha na bhavet. So by this, none of you will have any trouble. Swatantrataya vanijyasya arambhe kleshaha adhikaha. So in starting a business individually, the initial hurdles are many. Pitra kriyamanasya vanijyasya nirvahanam parivardhanam cha sukaram iti trayanam api ashayaha. Pitra kriyamanasya vanijyasya nirvahanam. Managing the business already established by father. Parivardhanam. Vardhanam means to grow. And to further grow it also, sukaram. Sukaram means it is very simple, easy. Iti trayanam api ashayaha. Like that all the 3 opined. Ataha pituhu vanijyasya nirvahanam kasya bhavet iti nirnetum te na shaktavantaha. So who is who shall get that management of father's business like that? Nirnetum, to decide. Tumananda Shabdaha. Te na shaktavantaha. They were not capable of coming to that conclusion. Tada Dhanaguptaha putran uktavan. Then the father Dhanagupta told to the sons, Evam tarihi avam aham bhavataha treen ekam prashnam prichami. Okay, in that case, I will ask one question to all you three. Yaha yogyam uttaram dadati saha mama vanijyasya uttaradhikari bhavishyati. Who gives a fitting reply, appropriate reply, he will be taking over the business. Evam bhavatva. Can it be so? Is it okay for you? Like that he asked. Trayaha api etat angikritavantah. And all the three sons, they accepted this. Tada Dhanaguptaha prishtava. Then the father asked, Devaha etat kshane eva bhavatam purataha yadi pratyakshaha bhavet tarihi bhavantaha tam kim prarthayanti iti. So his question is, if God appears in front of you in this very next moment, what shall you people ask from him? Prapanche vidyamanam samagram dhanam madadinam syat iti aham prarthayami iti bhuktavan anandaha. So the anandaha mind we can see, the entire wealth of this world, let it be under my control, like that. Or I should become king of the entire world, entire wealth of the entire world. Like that, aham prarthayami. I demand or I request or I want God to grant me such a boon, like that. Many meaning we can take. Prapanchasya dhanasya nirmata ahameva yathasyam tatha varena anugrihnatu iti aham prarthayami iti bhuktavan Vinodaha. So the Vinoda, another son, who both of these two people said that we will make you billionaire. Prapanchasya dhanasya nirmata. Nirmata means one who creates, establishes. Ahameva yathasyam. So let me be the wealth maker of the entire wealth in the world. Like we say king makers. So in political field, people say there are some king makers who becomes president, who become prime minister, like that. And they are not in that king's position, but they decide who shall be the king. Similarly, this Vinodaha is telling, let me have the position to decide. Prapanchasya dhanasya nirmata. So the wealth of the entire country, let I decide. It's like we say that dollar. Dollar is the universal currency, like. Okay, let me decide that my country becomes like that if we are thinking. So we want to have indirect control over the wealth of entire world. So we can understand from both of them. They want to have direct control or indirect control over the entire wealth of the world. Vivekaha tu maunam stitavan asi. But the third son Vivekaha, he kept silence. Ataha Dhanaguptaha kutuhalena tam prishtava. So the father was anxious. So he asked, Kim prarthaniyam iti nirnetum nashaktam va bhavata. Is it not possible by you to decide what to ask from God? Like that the father asked. Tada Vivekaha hasan muktama. Then the Viveka told in a very smiling way, Atra nirnetavyam chintaniyam va kimasti. What is there to think or decide? Yadi devaha pratyakshaha bhavati. If God appears in front of me, tari then aham tadeva pricheyam yat manavata priyaha sajjanaha kaschit prichet iti bhuktava. I shall ask only that manavata priyaha sajjanaha kaschit prichet. Manavata means that humanness. that public welfare. Sajjanaha means a good person, a generous person who wants the welfare of everybody. That was his father. Dhanaguptaha, even though a rich person, he was doing so much charity work to his friends and relation. That is called generous nature. Such a person who is a good person who is having the generous nature, what shall he ask? That only I shall also ask. Vatsa, tannama bhavataha ashayah kaha iti spashtam vadatu tavat. Okay, oh my son, in that case, what is your desire like that? You tell clearly, spashtam. Vivekam iti uktavan Dhanaguptaha. So he told to Viveka, I think there is some Vatsa tannama bhavataha ashayah kaha iti spashtam vadatu tavat iti Vivekam uktavan Dhanaguptaha. Like that, Dhanagupta told to Vivekaha, Aham madattam kimapi na prarthayami. I don't ask anything for my sake. Prapanche sthitaha sarvepi sukhena shantya आरोग्येन च यथा तिष्ठेयुः तथा अनुगृह्णातु कृपया इति भगवन्तं प्रार्थयामि इति उक्तवान् विवेकः. So Viveka told Prapanche, in the entire world, sthitaha sarvepi, all the people who are in this entire world, sukhena shantya arogyen, so happily, calmly, contentedly, quietly and healthily, Yathatishtayu, let they stay in this world with health, happiness and shanta minded, without any quarrel or fighting nature. Tata anugrihnatu, like that you bless me. Like that I will ask God. So in this fashion he said, Yatatu shrutva anandaha vinodaha cha hasitavantav. So listening that, both Ananda and Vinoda, they laughed at him. He is not asking for anything to him. He is asking for others. Dhanaguptaha tu tatha na kritavan. But Dhanagupta didn't do like that. He felt happy. His son is having his own mind. Saha vivekasya uttarena nitaram santushtaha sanne tam pritya alingya swakiyam vanijyam tadadhinam kritavan. So he was very happy with his answer and hugged him with affection, and he made him as the next person to take over his business. Idanim vinodaha anandaha cha nitaram ascharya chakitau. Now both Vinoda and Ananda, they become wonderstruck. Tada Dhanaguptaha tau uktavan. Then Dhanagupta told to them, Bhavatam vanijya samarthyam jnatavyam iti uddeshena maya prashnaha prishtaha na asit iti bhavantav janitaha eva. So he is telling, I didn't put question to know your skill in the business. How can you do the business? Because the question is not connected with any business. Swahita Cintanam केन प्रकारेण भवन्तः कुर्वन्ति इति ज्ञातुम् इच्छन् अहं प्रश्नं पृष्टवान्. So in what fashion you are taking care of or having your self-welfare? To know that, I asked the question. Bhavatam trayanam api uttaram shrutva yukta yuktatam nirniya eva vanijyam vivekadhinam kritavan asmi. Listening to all your answers and yukta ayuktata means pros and cons and all, weighing, nirniya, having considered and decided, vanijyam viveka adhinam kritavan. So I made under the control of Viveka my business. Mama nirnayam bhavantav avashyam angikarishyataha iti aham vishvasimi. I believe that both of you will accept my decision. Okay, this is what the story is. Vetalaha evam katham samapya avadat. So the ghost completed the story like this and told, Ayerajan, O king, Dhanaguptaha vanijye samartaha sannapi bandhu vyamoha karanataha kotishwaratva praptitaha vanchitaha jataha Kotishvaratvam means the quality of becoming billionaire. Praptihi, attainment. Vanjitaha, he got cheated or he failed. That way we'll have to take. Dhanaguptaha Vanijye Samartaha Sannapi, even though he was very efficient in business, Bandhu Vyamoha Karanataha, from the love and affection towards compassion or other thing towards relations and friends, Kotishvaratva Praptitaha, and from getting that billionaire status, Anjitaha Jataha, he got defeated or cheated or he got failed. Here Vanchitaha always doesn't mean cheated. Yatra griham nirmitam tasya sthalasya doshasya karanataha evam jatam iti vadantaha kechana swarthinaha nyunamulyena tad griham swayatti kartum prayattamanaha asanne. So the same sentence. Where the house was constructed, that is not in a good place like that. Some people wanted to get it in a low price. Tavata Dhanaguptaha Vriddaha Jataha Asit, and by that time Dhanagupta became old. Tathapi Kotyadhishatvam Praptavyam iti tadiya ichatu na apagata. Even then he became old. His desire to get that status of billionaire doesn't go. Samarthaya Swahita Chintana Paraya. Yeah, very suitable and Swahita Chintana Paraya. Someone who takes care of the self's welfare also. Vivekinam Vivekine Uttaradhikarine Vanijyam Samarpya. Vivekinam Uttaradhikari, Vivekine means in Viveki. See the sentence, Samarthaya Swahita Chintana Paraya. For that capable, Samarthaya, fitting, appropriate, Swahita Chintana Paraya, someone who is having the self-welfare also. Vivekine, in that Vivekaha, Uttaradhikarine, in getting that legal hardship, Vanijyam Samarpya, handing over the business, Tadwara, through him, Kotyadhishatvam Praptavyam, I should get that billionaire status. Iti Chintayan Asit Saha. Like that, the Dhanagupta is thinking, Kintu Ante Swasya Ishtasya Sadhanartham Tena Yatkritam Tat Kim Uchitam. But in the end, Ante Swasya Ishtasya Sadhanartham, to achieve his desire, Tena Dhanaguptene Yat Kritam, that which is done by Dhanagupta, Tat kim uchitam, is it appropriate? Vivekaha tu Swahita Chintane Anasaktaha. But Vivekaha is not having some self-welfare buddhi, or the mind of self-welfare is not there. Because he said, I will ask God that boon by which all shall be happy, healthy and all. But the other two people, they asked that I want the owner of the entire wealth, money like that. Samastasya jagataha sukham shantihi arogyam cha syatiti tena yat kathitam tadeva atra pramanam. So the proof, atra pramanam means for the statement, vivekaha tu swahita chintane anasaktaha. Vivekaha is not interested in his own self-welfare. Atra pramanam, and for this statement, the proof is samastasya jagataha sukham shantihi arogyancha syat iti tena yat katitam. By him it was told that the entire world, the people, be sukham shantihi arogyam, let them be happy and calm and they shall be healthy, like that. Yatadrishaha katham va prabhutam dhanam sampadayet. Such a person, how can he earn that much of money? Swahita chintanam vina dhana sampadanam dushkaram. Without having the self motives on the self's welfare. Dhana sampadanam dushkaram. It is very difficult to earn money. Iti svanubhavena jnatva api. Like this, svanubhavena, savarna dirgha sandhi. With his self-experience, jnatva api, Dhanagupta, even after knowing with his own self-experience, kimartham vanijyam vivekadhinam kritavan. Why he handed over the business to Viveka? Dhanaguptena mahati avivekita khalu pradarshita. See, avivekita means unwise act. By Dhanagupta, very unwise act is displayed, you know. मम एतेषां प्रश्नानाम् उत्तराणि जाननपि यदि भवान् नावदेत् तर्हि भवतः शिरः सहस्रधा भग्नं भवेत् इति. So as usual, the ghost says, even after knowing my answer, if you don't tell, then your head shall break into thousands of pieces. Tada maunam statum ashaktaha Trivikramaha evam muktavan. Then the Trivikramaha king, who can't stay silent when he knows the answer, told like that. Manavaha jivanartham samarthyasya anugunam kanchit margam avalambante. Manavaha means humans. Jivanartham, to lead life. Samarthyasya anugunam, according to every individual, according to their own capacity, their intelligence. Kanchit margam avalampante. They take shelter in some method. Everyone finds what works for them, like that, to lead life. Everybody does that. Evam margaha vibhinnaha bhavanti ityataha tattasya anubhavaha api bhinnaha bhavati. Because such a method of leading life is many, various, innumerable. Vibhinnaha bhavanti. It is very different from each other. That is why every individual is behaving different. Tattasya anubhavaha. And because of leading their life in their chosen path, their experiences in those life also bhinnaha bhavati. It bhinnaha bhavati. It becomes different. Anubhava balat yaha vivekaha prapyate saha api bhinnaha bhavati. And with our own experience, whatever wisdom we get, that also will be different. So all wisdoms are similar, like that we can't say. Every individual wisdom also will be different. Ataha tattasya nirnayaha api bhinnaha bhavati. Therefore, every individual's decision also becomes different. Their experience is different, the way they choose is different. Because of the experience, what they get is different. And because of that, the decision they make is different. Like that, everything is different. Vanijye nipunaha dhanaguptaha svanubhavat jnatavan yat vanik swahita chintanavan bhavet eva iti. So, by his experience, that Dhanagupta, who is expert in business, one should have swahita chintanam. Means the business person should have some reserved portion of keeping the self's welfare also. That is the main point. Putreshu yeshaha gunaha kiyata pramanena asti iti jnatum saha putran ekam prashnam prishtavan. So how much of such quality is there in the sons? That a portion of that should be in self's care. So we have to take care of ourselves. Like that quality should be there. So who is having this quality, how much they have, like that to know, he asked the questions. Ananda vinodayohu uttaram yadyapi swahita chintanat dyotakam asit. Dyotakam means to display. Even though the answers of Ananda and Vinoda is showing that they are having that self-welfare motives and interest, tathapi tena uttarena dhanaguptaha na santushtaha. But even then, the father Dhanagupta was not happy with those answers. Yataha, because tayohu uttaram swahita chintanam sputam prakashayati sma. Because their answers very openly displays their self-motives. Yatra swahita chintanasya prakashanam bhavati tatra anadaraha tatra apakirtihi cha sagaja. Where someone is doing something with openly exposing the self-motives or self-welfare, tatra, there, anadaraha means disrespect, and from there, tataha, from there, disrespect, apakirtihi, that disfaming. Like nowadays we can see the politicians, they say they come to that field to serve the people like that. But they have their self-motive. Like nowadays, many news, many things we see on TV, paper. And after some time, they get another disrespect. And they make money and they are caught and they get apakirtihi. Their name and fame they spoil. Sagaja, it becomes very casual. It is very normal. Murkha yadi swahita chintanam kuryat tarhi tena hanihi. Murkha, a stupid person, a fool, if he is doing that self-welfare or self-motivated, then tena hanihi. By that, it is loss only, because he will be publicly, openly displaying what he is most interested is his own welfare. Buddhiman yadi swahita chintanam kuryat. But at the same time, if it is done by some intelligent person, tarhi, then labaha, then it is profitable, because not only he will take care of himself, he will also take care of others. Ananda vinodavtu parishramam vina eva dhanam praptum ichchataha sma. Both Ananda and Vinoda, without putting efforts, they wanted to make money. Yatadrishaha alpe eva kale anyaya marga anuyayinaha bhavanti. Anyaya marga anuyayinaha. Anuyayinaha means one who follows. Marga means path. Anyaya means not nyaya, anyaya. So, unlawful ways they will adapt. Yatadrishaha, the people who want to make money, dhanam praptum ichchataha. How? Vina parishramam, without putting efforts, without being entrepreneur, without laborious hard work. Those who want to make money, alpeyeva kale, in a short time, anyaya marganu yayinaha, they take the route of unlawful means. Vivekaha tu vina parishramam dhanam praptum na ichchati sma. But Vivekaha doesn't like to make money without putting efforts. Daivanugrahantu saha ichchati sma. But he likes the blessings of God also. Daivanugrahataha anyaihi yavat prapyate tavadeva swanimittam ichchati sma saha. By the blessings of God, anyaihi yavat prapyate. By others, how much is got by the blessings? Same way, in a same quantity, tavateva, tavadeva, swanimittam ichchati sma. He also decides for his own purpose. Daivanugrahadikam vina kotyadhishyatvam praptavyam chet parishramaha bhuttimatta cha sharanam. Without the blessings of God, Daivanugrahadikam vina, without that, kotyadhishyatvam praptavyam chet, if you have to get that billionaire status, parishramaha bhuttimatta cha sharanam. So the only left out way is hard work and intelligence. Ataha yeshaha eva margaha putrasya priyaha iti jnatavan dhanaguptaha. So this is only the most desired path by Vivekaha. Like that he came to know. Dhanaguptaha kotyadhishyatvam praptum tu ichchati sma eva. But Dhanagupta want to become that billionaire status. Kintu saha tadartham anyaya margashrayanam na ichchati sma. Ashrayanam. Shrayanam means to take shelter. Even though he wanted to take or get the status of billionaire, but he doesn't want to take illegal means to become. Anyaya margashrayanam means taking shelter in unlawful means. He is not interested. Ataha saha vanijyam vivekadhinam kritavan. So he has handed over the business to Viveka. Otherwise, what happens? These people, they will do that business, and we see many business people also. They start one business, then they do smuggling, then they do some other thing. Like that, we have seen many people, many educated people, many well established business heads. They also get locked into some this type of apakirtihi. They lose their name and fame. Evam susukshmam vichintya. Sukshmam means very inner, means very minute. Susukshmam means very minutely vichintya. Thinking very deeply. Sadhaka, badhaka, ta. Means sadhaka means favoring. Badhaka means disfavoring. Pros and cons. Sadhaka badhakatam paryalochya means very well thinking over. That is the dirghalochana, that duralochana. Yogyam nirnayam kritavan asti Dhanaguptaha. So Dhanaguptaha made a proper decision. So this is what the Vetala started in the story. Why someone fails and how he get things done through. Whether he fails in that, some people fail, but the proper person gets success. Evam vadata Trivikramena maunabhangaha kritaha asit. So by talking, Trivikrama lost his mauna vratha. Ataha shavantargataha vetalaha tataha adrishyaha bhutva yatha purvam vrikshasya shakham avalambitavan. So the ghost which was in the dead body, as usual, it left that and went to that tree and started hanging there. So again Trivikrama will go. So the story continues. Another very dharmika way. See, I told in the beginning, all the Vikram Vetala story is teaching dharmika, way of life. So from this we learn how, like Rama, how he listened to father, like Bhishma, how he kept words. So these Purana, these Itihasa, they are all not simply some story, and they are all something to be discarded. They are all life lessons. They are told in a very soft way, because humans can't be made to sit in a lecture hall and listen to lecture after lecture, or they cannot be given tons of books and ask them to read everything and behave well. But this type of stories will make them to visualize things, remember what happened, and by doing what by adopting which way of life, what we learned or what we end up. All these self-learning method strongly make wired in our brain, so that we conduct ourselves in a dharmic way. That is why I like to read all these stories. And as I say, that 1,000 stories I will, though it takes time, I will finish one day. Hope you liked it, and I will come up with some other new story. Take care. Bye-bye.